Hey guys. I am coming at you live actually from a Mexican restaurant. I just had dinner here and I just filmed a podcast earlier. I'm having a bit of an anxiety, vulnerability hangover from the podcast I did because I shared some stuff that I've never shared before, especially about like sexual trauma. So I'm glad I got it out there because I think that if I need to say it, someone needs to hear it, right? But what I want to share with you tonight and why I'm making this mid chicken tacos is because there are two things that you can do really quick to hack your anxiety. It's exactly what I did. And in the podcast that I did for the Sober Life Coach, I actually, it came up like what happened when I was younger. What was my darkest dark? And it was pretty dark. I had every single anxiety disorder. And I hit such a force at my bottom. It was like I had hit a trampoline and I bounced the other way. And like literally my mantra, I mean, these were the words I had in my head. So pardon the swearing, but it was fuck fear. Because I was in such a dark place, it was like I have to go to the light. Every day if something scares me, I'm going to do it. Which meant, of course, I had to learn how to be comfortable in my skin. I had to learn the skills that were required in order to pursue everything despite the fear, despite the anxiety attacks. And so the first thing that I want to share with you is breathing. And before you judge it says, oh, I know about that, just like, let's take a breath right now. Go ahead and inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Close your eyes. Let's take another inhale through the nose. Exhale. Let's do another breath. You can inhale. As you exhale, open your eyes. So right there, that calms us down. And the reason why it works, I needed to understand the brain and what was going on in the brain for me to get why it was important to look away from how simple it is and to understand how simple it is and how effective it is. When we breathe, when we take those mindful breaths, we are activating our parasympathetic nervous system. So we have our autonomic nervous system has two parts, right? The parasympathetic and the sympathetic. The parasympathetic is the rest and digest. The breathing literally calms us down. That's turning off the anxiety by turning on the calm. The sympathetic nervous system is fight or flight. That's the stress reaction. That's when the adrenaline and cortisol are rushing through our system. So the breathing is turning us down on the inside. So take those deep breaths. That's an immediate way to hack your anxiety. The second way, again, it's super simple, but it is super effective. It is counting. And what happens, the reason why, because when we know why, it's a lot more powerful. When you count, what you're doing is you're taking the attention from the amygdala, which is where the anxiety is, right? It's the emotional part of the brain. It's the reptilian brain. It's the older brain. That's where our anxiety is. That's where our fight or flight is. That's where the fear is coming from. That's what's making it worse. So when we count, we're bringing our attention into the prefrontal cortex. Bear with me on the science. And we're activating a different part of our brain. So we're activating our logical rational center, which takes us out of the emotional center, brings us back into logic, and then we have a chance to detach from the fear. We're no longer thinking the thoughts that are making us afraid and triggering the anxiety. Now we're safe from it. So there are your really super powerful 2 quick anxiety hacks for the day from the Mexican restaurant in Old Town San Diego. 1, breathe. 2, count. You got this. You got this. If you are particularly anxious or you've been struggling with anxiety for a long time and you've been trying this stuff and it's not working, send me a message. I would love to take this chat offline. You can absolutely overcome anxiety. I mean, I'm telling you on that podcast that I just did, the Sober Life podcast, we walked through my darkest dark and I forget how dark it was because that was 8 years ago. And if I can come through that and come to the other side and come to the light, you absolutely can. I'm just another human with another human nervous system, and that can get rewired. Yours can get rewired too. Hope you're having a beautiful night. Leave me a comment below with what you think of the breathing and the counting. Love you guys.